Cue the energy, cue the hype, because WrestleMania season is upon us, and that means it's time to lock in those predictions. Welcome to Wavymania, the Road to WrestleMania discussion show. I am Notorious D, and alongside me is my guy Wavy D, the Nostradamus of pro wrestling. Every week, me and Wavy break down the latest WrestleMania news and rumors, as well as update and predictions card. So buckle up, because the road to WrestleMania is full of detours, swerves, and last-minute changes. This is Wavymania, and it starts right now. What's up, Wavy?
What is poppin'? What's going on?
It was a wild week of wrestling. What the hell just happened? There's so much. Friday was a curveball.
It was.
I think, I'm still going to lock in here when we get to talking about The Rock. I'm still steadfast on my beliefs. But you told me before the show started, you got some ideas on The Rock. Tell me about them. Explain to me this Rock situation.
Not gonna lie, I was looking to skip SmackDown this past Friday.
Okay.
I was gonna skip SmackDown. I was gonna probably play some video games. I was considering going to the bar, maybe. I was gonna, take a load off for the night. And then early in the day, I saw that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was coming out to SmackDown, and I saw the people in the Discord and the chat discussing the possible reasons. They're like, he's just gonna be here to promote his vodka or tequila, or he's gonna announce the area for WrestleMania 42 next year, which he did. But then we're like, is there more to it? What's gonna happen? And as we saw, he did announce WrestleMania 42 is gonna be in New Orleans. All right. So catch me out in New Orleans next year. It's gonna be a vibe.
Yeah, buddy.
And then he was essentially told Cody Rhodes that he wants his soul.
Take your soul, bro.
He's like, we become really good friends this past year. Our mamas are friends. All the stuff is in the past, and I'm not gonna lie, I got some cooking behind this, and some people that I've shared my early ideas with. They're thinking that I'm looking too deep into it.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go, though. Take me on this journey, because I like these deep dives.
So, essentially, they're kind of lost. They're like, what is The Rock talking about? They're like, this is going to be a simple Cody Rhodes heel turn. The immediate reaction in the Discord was, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, definitely.
And everyone's confused. And I told them, I see the vision.
Okay.
I was like, me and Notorious D, we see the vision.
Yeah.
At that point, you haven't watched it yet. You were still like an hour before.
Yeah, I was a little behind, but that's all right. I'll co-sign what you say.
I was like, I see the vision, guys. You're not seeing what I'm seeing. All right. Here it goes. The Rock is essentially offering Cody a second chance. Okay.
Sure.
And when I say a second chance, all right, you guys got hear me out, okay? I'm notorious for saying hear me out, but hear me out on this one. So we know Cody Rhodes, when he left WWE the first time, he was on the indie circuit, he was playing the heel, and then he eventually went on to go start AEW, right? And he went to AEW, he became an EVP, okay? And I think Cody wanted to enjoy the fruits of his labor, okay? He wanted to be the top dog of AEW. But he heard swirls around. He heard people saying, he's just going to be another Triple H. He's going to book for himself, yada, yada. So Cody proved them wrong and to not be like the people he left. He decided not to book himself in world title pictures.
Yeah.
He decided to play the nice guy. He tried not to hold any titles. And then Cody left. He came back to the WWE eventually. And the Young Bucks, they carried out in their way of being the EVPs who, guess what? Who just don't give a hell. All right, they're going to do whatever they want, when they want. And, they got the tag team titles. They fired people. They told people to go suck it, and they did whatever they wanted to. And they were enjoying the fruits of their labor. to a smaller degree. They're not WWE.
Okay.
So, they were enjoying blueberries while Cody's about to be out here enjoying watermelons. Okay? So, The Rock is offering Cody a chance to redo that and get a second chance.
Okay.
He's offering Cody a chance to be the corporate champion.
Okay.
All right? To go from having to kiss babies and high five fans to kiss the models and having handshake deals with tycoons, okay? He's gonna make Cody Rhodes like, you could be the champion and not have to do all these 15 show appearances a week, okay? You don't gotta kiss these babies. You don't gotta perform at every house show.
Okay.
All right? You don't gotta do all this bull crap, okay? Roman Reigns was a small example, okay? Roman Reigns, he came and wrestled 3 times a year, okay? 3 or 4 times a year, and you got what you liked, okay? You got what you got, and you ate it, and you liked it, okay? The Rock is telling Cody, this could be you, okay? You could be my champion. You can wrestle whenever you want, okay? We can give you a 3 times a year schedule, okay? Because you're drawing us money. You're the money guy. You breaking records with us this past 2 years, okay? So essentially, he's telling Cody, be my guy, be my Triple H to my Vince McMahon, essentially.
Okay. Now, does Cody take the bait?
Now, here's where I think that it possibly could happen.
Okay.
I think there's a good chance it could happen. And that has to do with my winner of the Elimination Chamber being CM Punk.
Okay. Interesting.
Now, who does CM Punk hate his first time around?
Dwayne?
Dwayne and Rock Johnson.
Dwayne and Punk don't get along.
Yeah, all the suits in the back. Okay?
Yeah.
He doesn't like all the suits in the back. All right? And the reason CM Punk and Cody were friends over in AEW was because, Cody was running the show and, he gave CM Punk a chance and he liked the way he was running business over there. And then Cody left. CM Punk stayed. He saw how when the EVPs run the place, it all went to shit.
Mm-hmm.
So now CM Punk is going to be the voice of the people, the voice of the voiceless, the man of us, and he's going to help prevent us from falling down the rotten ways of AEW of having the EVP or the corporate run the place.
So that's what you see happening.
Yeah, CM Punk is essentially going to be to help Cody turn heel. You put him against one of the biggest people that we love is CM Punk. CM Punk can talk with Cody on a week-to-week basis, okay? And he can be the voice of the voices like he says he is.
So, I'm with you every step of the way, except I think you have it flipped around. I think Punk is going to become the Rock's guy. I don't think Cody's going to take the deal. I think Cody he's going to struggle with it. He's going to go back and forth. It's going to fight him, and we're going to get all the way to WrestleMania, and it's going to be Cody versus CM Punk, and I could see The Rock costing Cody that match and creating a new corporate structure that is The Rock and CM Punk, and then they begin to fill that out around those two guys. I don't know if they can afford to do with Cody what they did with Roman. I like the idea of like, you don't have to kiss the babies, you don't have to, but that's kind of Cody's thing. And while I do think it pigeonholes him a little bit, and I think he'd be more interesting as a bad guy, I just feel like kind of corporately right now, they need that baby face, and I don't think CM Punk is the kind of avatar of what they want as their good guy. I've been waiting for CM Punk to go heel. And so to me, this is kind of that moment where you can swerve the crowd with, yeah, Punk and Rock don't like each other, but now it's just about money. That's all it's about. The Rock offers CM Punk this opportunity for money. What has Punk been telling us the whole time? It's all about money. I'm here for money. So I'm with you every step of the way. I think it's almost too obvious that you go the Cody Rhodes heel turn route. Now, what this really messes up is my whole idea. There's still a part of me that believes this can also be a play into Roman Reigns. This can be Roman coming back and being like, you chose Cody? You chose Cody over me? You think Cody's your guy? I'm going to whoop your ass, then I'm going to whoop Cody's ass. That's a long shot at this point. But I still think I just can't see The Rock being involved in WrestleMania and them not doing Rock versus Roman. That doesn't make sense to me. I know everybody says that like, oh, do we still want that match? The minute they make that match, everybody's going to want that match. And we're all a little jaded right now on like, they keep teasing us. The Rock comes back, holds 3 fingers up. Why is he here? Why is he not here? Roman's missing. But I think if it became official, we'd all be back on board because it is on poster the biggest match you could make in all of wrestling, I think. But I'm with you. I think what this does once again is it adds just another layer to like why you have to watch Elimination Chamber. You know, to see who wins that match. Because a lot of people, we're going to talk about this in just a second. We have this WrestleFeed predicted card here. A lot of people predicting Cena to win the Elimination Chamber. But I was sold on that at one point. But at one point, I was going to take that same idea you had and apply it to John Cena becoming the corporate guy. But I don't think you take the last year of Cena's career and screw it up by making him a bad guy. Yeah. He made it this far. It's not worth doing that. So I don't know how do you sell John Cena versus Cody Rhodes?
I mean, you could just sell it as two of the top baby faces we ever seen, kind of thing. Like, you know, the passing of the mantle or the torch or whatever.
But how exciting is that? Because you then play the game of like, Cena could win, but are they really going to put the big belt on Cena for his last year? I don't feel like they are. And that kind of halts all the Cody momentum if he loses. If he beats Cena, then we're kind of out of the gates on the Cena World Tour thing with, is Cena just going to lose every match that he has in the last year?
Yeah, I think the idea is you kind of put the title on Cena either at SummerSlam or post SummerSlam.
Sure.
And let him carry us through the slow period.
Sure. I'm okay with Cena getting a title run. I don't know that WrestleMania, the optics like this last, because I don't know. I mean, Elimination Chamber is going to tell us so much. I am excited for that.
And real quick, I do think, you know, with Cody Rhodes, you know, I know there's a big thing in the IWC and the online community is that we see a lot of correlations between him and Homelander from The Boys.
Sure.
I know you haven't watched The Boys yet.
Me? I've watched The Boys.
Oh, you did watch The Boys?
Oh, yeah, okay. I've seen every episode.
So I know, Homelander finally has that realization, you know, that he doesn't need his babies anymore. He can just take power and be powerful, and he'll still have an audience. And, you know, I think it was a surprise to a lot of fans to hear last night that, you know, if they're going to make it storyline wise or whatever, that Cody and Rock have become friends since the last time they met each other. You know what I'm saying? Since this is the last time we see him on TV at WrestleMania.
So the one thing I will say is I'm not sure in that promo how much of that was written and how much of that, a lot of that was The Rock rambling. A lot of that was The Rock's out of practice. He has talking points you can hear in his head, but he just kind of keeps going, we're friends. We're friends. I don't know if that was really meant to drive that home that much, as much as that promo was a little long for me. I think it could have been shorter. It could have been kind of to the point. Do you think they're setting up old Dwayne to be the new Vince McMahon? Because I like that.
I think one thing we are missing is a heel authority figure,
and that always makes wrestling better.
Yeah, I'm not saying we need one like week to week.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, an overarching villain.
Yeah, Because, you look at SmackDown, Nick Aldis, he kind of middle of the road guy,
Sure.
a little edgy,
Sure.
but he keeps it pretty fair.
Yeah.
Adam Pearce keeps it pretty fair, okay? Ava, nice person, runs the middle of the thing, keeps it fair. We're kind of due for Eric Bischoff or Vicky Guerrero or Vince McMahon or someone, a little bit of a heelish, all right, heelish authority figure.
And the idea has to be, right, we're essentially leaving the bloodline story, it feels like that is kind of in the back window. And I know there's a lot of fatigue, but there's got to be a what's next. What is the big next story arc for WWE? And I think this could be it. I definitely think that, like you said, he doesn't have to be there on a week-to-week basis. He can just come in and cause problems for the champions, or if the champions are, under him, he can create, great circumstances for those guys.
If Cody does become the corporate guy, there is kind of a small built-in cabinet of wrestlers he can bring in to surround himself with.
Yeah,
he has a couple dudes from AEW.
Yeah,
he has a Shawn Spears. He has a Alexis King. He has a probably not Ricky Starks as much, but he has a Ethan Page. You know what I'm saying? So a Shawn Spears, Ethan Page, and Alexis King, good place to start.
How ballsy would it be by Triple H and WWE if they literally kind of designed a corporate faction around ex-AEW guys? Like that, to me, that's crazy. It would get attention.
And it's also another place you could bring in Miro, Rusev. Because right now, if you bring Rusev back, it's one thing that we're talking about on our podcast is that, how to book him. And I'm not quite sure where to put Rusev into his roster.
Sure.
And I think that would be a nice spot. It's like kind of like a muscle.
Like a corporate enforcer.
Yeah, of his new faction.
That's interesting. And then you can even go, so here's what I'll say. I don't hate the idea of it being Cody, because you can circle all the way back around next year and do a corporate versus a reinvigorated bloodline where Jacob and Roman and the Usos have all come back together to take down the corporate structure. Man, I'm not against this. But let's talk about, so I found this article on WrestleFeed, and it's what they're calling the highly rumored matches for WrestleMania 41. And it is very different than what we've put on paper lately, I would say. It's got some similarities, but some of the major matches, starting with, let's jump into, they're predicting Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, which I asked you just a second ago. I get you can book it as the hero, the passing of the torch. And I was even advocating that last week. There's too many other exciting storylines for that to make. Like, I do feel like the match to make at this point, however it plays out, if it's your way with Cody being the guy or my way with Punk being the guy, I think that's the match to make. I still feel pretty locked in on our decision of Punk and Rhodes.
Especially because CM Punk, his main thing is, I just want to main event WrestleMania.
Sure.
Like, if that's his real intentions, you can main event WrestleMania and not win the title. Sure,
exactly. And I mean, that's definitely right. Or you can main event WrestleMania and win a title, because, like we said, Cody needs a spark at this point. So I'm okay. The heel turn is great, or losing the title and having to chase Punk, to me, is fine. But one way or the other, I think that's the match to make. But then they have here Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. I'm not sold on that match like some people are. And
I'd rather just see Roman versus Seth one-on-one.
There's so much history.
Exactly.
I don't think I'll ever be mad at that match. And the way it ended the last time with Roman DQ, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty easy to book in a couple of weeks. Just the animosity between the two. Seth kind of cost Roman the title last year. I think that's easy.
And then Seth just put Roman out of action for a little bit.
Sure, exactly.
Where Roman couldn't compete for Elimination Chamber.
Exactly. Now let me ask you a question. This isn't on here. So let's say we play it out the way we're playing it out. Okay? We got Punk and Rhodes. We got Seth and Roman. What do you do with Cena then?
I personally have Cena versus Logan Paul.
So you're still going there, even with, because I think the rumors are here of Logan Paul Braun Breaker Intercontinental title match.
I do have Braun Breaker on the card, but that's actually one of my switches from on my card. I no longer have Braun Breaker versus Sheamus.
What did you switch that to?
I currently got Braun Breaker versus at least AJ Styles.
Okay. And see, so let's break this down systematically. Okay, so no Braun Breaker, Logan Paul. I agree. I think that's an absolutely terrible match. It makes no sense.
And at least those two need more build.
Well, and Logan's not winning another title this quick. So I don't understand loading up Logan and put him against Braun. Braun has a plethora of people who can get in that ring with him right now. I mean, I even think like a Dominic Mysterio makes more sense for a Braun Breaker just because of the heat he can generate and that heel quality. I still think like a Sheamus or a Ludwig, any of those guys, they're fine for Braun Breaker. He doesn't have to have a spectacular match with a Logan Paul. So you're going Logan Cena. I like that as well because after listening to Logan on his podcast a couple times, he's got super respect for all these guys. And I think they would just go out and put on a good match. And Logan's okay taking the L to someone like Cena. Yeah. And kind of kicking off the tour. It gives Logan more to bitch about and complain about. Like you said, you had said whenever someone's on the podcast, it kind of foreshadows a match coming up. Yeah. So I like your plan with that. But then you're saying AJ Styles, Braun Breaker.
Yeah, that's what's been being teased on Raw right now, and I don't think it's announced for Chamber yet. So maybe if stuff further develops this Monday, maybe they might add the Chamber this weekend. But if it's not add the Chamber, the next spot is Mania. So, and then say if Braun Breaker and AJ does happen at Chamber. I could see a triple threat match at WrestleMania even. Sure. With Braun, AJ, Sheamus, but I think Braun, AJ is the current plan they're looking towards.
So WrestleFeed has AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. And I'm assuming they get there because Dom is messing around with AJ, right? There was a little friction there. But I still think Finn versus Dom is the match to make.
Yeah, I currently have Finn versus Dom still written down.
I feel like we're just hanging on to strings with the Judgment Day at this point, and we've got to kind of unravel that thing so that, like you had said, we can start forming whatever the new look of the leftover members are versus who kind of break away. So they've got Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight.
Yeah.
That was my original match I had booked coming out of the Royal Rumble heat. But then that leaves Damian Priest just floating around in the wild.
Yeah, I got Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest.
I still think this is going to end up being a triple threat. I still think it's going to be LA Knight. It's one of those things where they've booked themselves into a corner. They don't know what to do with all three of them. They've all three had somewhat of a storyline. I just get this feeling we're going to get a triple threat match between Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, and LA Knight. And the winner of that match is going to get kind of propelled as the next kind of number one contender for the title coming out of WrestleMania.
Yeah, I tell you what, my dark horse match. So this match only happens if other stuff happens and stuff kind of like snowballs out of control. Mm-hmm. My dark horse match is Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns.
I still like that. I think from just a storytelling perspective, it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, Drew's gotten every guy but Roman so far. He's got
exactly
every target.
He's run through. I like that. At this point, then it becomes the game. Then what do you do with Seth, right?
And again, I think that's where you could possibly run back Seth and CM Punk again. But that's, the avalanche effect.
Yeah, you're constantly pulling one guy out of a match that you think you have planned. I mean, LA Knight is the one that I think ends up being on the outside. Could you throw like a Joe Hendry or somebody in there?
Well, I have LA Knight in the US title picture because also this past Friday in SmackDown, didn't he get attacked by Shinsuke?
Yeah,
again?
Shinsuke got back involved, which true. That makes sense.
Yeah, I got the US title being defended probably like in the ladder match still.
Or just some form of 6 guys in the ring at one time. I'm with you on that. Yeah. Let's see what else they have here. They've got the Jacob solo match, which I think we're all pretty confident that's, we've seen the stones being laid out for that path. They have Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens,
which I like. That I changed my stuff because of that, and I was like, how do you get to that without leaving Sammy off the card? And I was like, guess what? I think you leave Sammy off the card.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Owens beat his ass so bad at Chamber that Sami Zayn is just out for like 4 months or whatever.
I agree. I think that's exactly what you do. And then you run back
Kevin Owens and Sammy at SummerSlam.
Sure. I'm with you 100%. Sammy's due a little vacation anyway. I don't know that he had his kind of big moments. I don't know that I don't think he's a guy who's just going to feel completely demoralized if he's not on this WrestleMania card. But I'm with you on that. I think the way you get there is Elimination Chamber, unsanctioned. We're going to see just the brutal beatdown of Sami Zayn by Kevin Owens, which will culminate in, I don't know, maybe at Elimination Chamber or the Friday after, but it'll be Randy Orton coming back and being like, enough of this shit, Kevin. It's time someone whoops your ass. And then that's going to be a hell of a match.
Enough X.
They have Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair, which I think, we know that's a lock at this point. And I think that's going to be a good match. And they got Gunther and Jey Uso, which is that's a lock as well. That's the only thing I see on their card. Oh, they have Jade Cargill and Naomi. I wanted to talk to you about this because I did my piece on the podcast this week about what the fuck do they do with Bianca at this point? If this is the plan, I'm pretending this is the plan. What do you do with Bianca then?
I mean, I still got Jade Cargill versus Bianca.
It feels to me deep down inside like Jade Cargill and Naomi make sense because Jade's going to go over. And so I don't think they want Bianca taking a pin from Jade. And I don't think they want Jade taking a pin from Bianca at this point. So I feel like Jade versus Naomi makes sense because Jade can get the W. She can get a WrestleMania moment. But then does Bianca just become a piece of that story? Do we go the We Too Deep route and just Bianca wins Elimination Chamber and all of a sudden we're going to rush into Rhea versus Bianca? Do you do triple threat with Rhea, Bianca, Io Sky? There's enough history between Bianca and Io. I feel like she's an afterthought in this WrestleMania.
I mean, I think Naomi's just the dumb third party. I think Bianca is the one that did the hit.
You think so?
The hit. Yeah, I think Bianca did it.
See, I don't. I think at this point, after this last week, I'm sold. Naomi's the one acting a little sketch. She's not. No. We don't need to look any more into this. She's the one hitting that stuff. And once again, I don't know. WWE has a tendency, with all the Make-A-Wish stuff they do, I don't see them turning Bianca heel. She is the little girl role model. And outside of Bianca, they don't really have that in the women's division, right? Rhea Ripley is not really a role model.
Well, it could be Jay Cargill
turning heel.
No, Jay Cargill could be the new Make-A-Wish superstar.
I don't think
Naomi's there. Alexa Bliss is there.
I don't think you put Bianca in a Hulu TV show and all that stuff. I maybe I'm wrong, but I get the vibes that we are headed towards Jade and Naomi, and that Bianca's gonna be odd man out when we get there.
I got the other way around.
Okay.
Jade and Bianca. Naomi is the third party.
Okay. All right. I mean, I hope I keep crossing my fingers because I hope Bianca's in a big storyline, whether it be the main event or in this match. I'm still sold on our idea. Like I still believe on Friday or Saturday, Bianca's going to be taken out by Naomi and not make it to the chamber, and Io's going to replace her.
There's a small chance, hear me out, there's even a small chance that, say, Liv Morgan just wins chamber, and then the following night on Raw just interferes in the match. And then Pierce has no choice but to make it a triple threat.
I can see that. I don't love it. I feel like it's a cheap way out. It to me, it cheapens this idea that Elimination Chamber is the last chance. But I 100% see that as a route they go. But I think
maybe Liv Morgan sees Io as a harder opponent.
So here's where I'm gonna tell you why I don't think that's right. Because Liv and Raquel have a title match, and they're gonna win the tag team titles. I don't think they put Liv in the main event in a world title match and carrying the tag team titles. I think Liv is scheduled to be part of a tag team match at WrestleMania with said number of teams as the champions, whereas the Bianca, Jade, and Naomi thing, that's separate from the tag titles at this point. I still believe, Wavy, I am locked in on this idea. You got me convinced that it's Io Rhea at WrestleMania, and I'm convinced that this Monday night thing is a swerve.
We shall see.
We
shall see. I'm excited because the tag titles are being defended this Monday, tomorrow.
Yeah, I think they win them.
And then also the women's IC title is being defended tomorrow too.
So Lyra retains. I'm going to say Lyra retains, and I think we could see Becky post match in that match.
Okay.
I could see this is a good spot to bring her back. To come out and congratulate Lyra, and either Lyra turns on Becky or Becky, the old hug celebration, handshake, slap the shit out of her, hold the title up, and now we've got that match set in stone. But I think I'm 100%. I think tomorrow night, Bianca and Naomi drop the titles.
I hope so too.
And if they do, then I don't think Liv wins at Chamber, and I do think if it's like Bianca that takes the pin, I could see Naomi out of like jealousy and like it all bubbling up that she was pissed off, and she takes out Bianca, then it comes out she took out Jade. I'm telling you, I believe there's some roots growing in that story.
All right.
So what else? What did we miss here? Is there anything else that you had changes for your card?
Let's see. I got Finn versus Dom still.
Like that.
It looks like we're going to be getting like a Kaiser, Pete Dunne, and Penta through a triple threat match.
Sure.
But I still like the idea of like Chad Gable in the New Day versus Penta, Ray, and Dragon Lee.
Agree.
So I think I like the 6-minute tag team match idea better.
I think some of these stories that we're predicting were just a little bit early. I think Triple H, unlike previous years, there are some stories he's running right now that have no effect on what's going to happen at WrestleMania. As far as just kind of they'll tie up like Sammy and KO, right? I think we all assume that would drag out, but I think like you may see, because Gable's interesting. This story has to pay off, right? That he just went to go find training and who is that and what's that about, that's got to pay off in the next 30 days, right?
Hopefully.
I don't think you drag that out. It becomes an afterthought if it runs after WrestleMania to me.
I got War Raiders versus the Creeds.
Okay, still love that. Still fine. That's a good tag match.
Yeah, there's not really any other tag teams in the picture right now.
Yeah,
that I can think of on Raw.
No, not really.
Yeah, then Shinsuke versus Mello versus Jimmy Uso versus Andrade versus Escobar versus Knight.
Okay,
in the ladder match.
Makes sense.
The one person having a hard time for is Alexa Bliss.
So I could see her and Nikki being part of a tag team match with Liv and Raquel.
Okay.
And it just being hectic and crazy and you know, lights going off and shit. I could see that. I could see a singles match for Alexa Bliss. I could see it, you know, they can always go the wild route of like throwing a faction against the entire Wyatt Six in some kind of weird quick spectacle. Because I get the feeling the Wyatt Six are gonna be a part of WrestleMania in some form or fashion.
Mm.
Just because the entrance and all that shit is intriguing.
At least next week, we will have a lot more work off of after Royal Rumble. I mean, after Elimination Chamber.
Definitely, we'll have there'll be. I think we'll see that we'll know kind of what the Rock's plan is probably after Elimination Chamber. Is there any chance Roman is at Chamber?
Oh well, yeah. I think he interferes in the match.
You do. Oh, so you do think so?
Yeah, I think CM Punk and Rollins.
You told me this. I forgot this.
Yeah, I think they're the last two. I think say like Damian or Drew. One of the two is getting taken out of the chamber. The door's open, and I think Roman comes in. He spears Rollins. He tells CM Punk, "There's your favor. Leave it. You know, there's your favor we owe you." And then CM Punk wins chamber. And then faces Cody at WrestleMania.
I like that. I still like that. That makes sense. And that gets us to Roman Seth. All right. I booked that. I like that a lot. I just ran through it in my head. Yeah, that's beautiful. It takes care of the favor. It gets Punk to where he needs to be. Seth can lose the match and have a reason to go into lockdown, you know, kind of locked in Seth Rollins. Yeah, I like it. I like that a lot.
Lock it in.
That's it, man. You got anything else?
Oh, Neri, I gotta put you on this TV show, all right?
Okay, put me on.
I gotta put you in the audience on, okay?
What's that?
You know, you guys all got access to YouTube, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with Drewski, the comedian?
Yeah, love Drewski. Love me some Drewski.
All right. So he had this other TV show called Could Have Been House or Could Have Been Records House.
Okay.
And essentially he brought in a bunch of aspiring rappers and singers and put them all in the house, and they were competing for a record deal and like $50,000 or whatever.
Okay.
And you know, it was some very hood ratchet shit. Okay.
Okay.
Very like if you love messy TV, that was messy.
Okay.
But now he has a spin-off show, which episodes 1 and 2 came out. So episodes 1 and 2, episode 3 drops. I think drops Thursday nights. And so this one is called Could Have Been Love, where it's essentially Drewski's The Bachelor, and he brings in like 19 women into a house.
Okay.
But the 19 women, like half of them are like studs. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no shit.
Yeah, they're like it's like lesbians, studs. Like so you got some girly girls.
So they're competing for the girls as well.
Well, no, Drewski's competing for all of them.
No, but I mean the studs probably paying attention to the ladies a little bit as well.
I mean, potentially, but like the whole funny thing behind Drewski is that like it's kind of like his shtick is that he loves him some studs.
Okay. Okay.
And so he had, there's some in there who like they could share clothes with Drewski, like they could comfortably share clothes, and so it's 19 of them in the house competing for his attention, and like the first 2 episodes are been like 5 fights, all right, and so there's a bunch of like ass shaking, twerking, stuff like that, and it's very messy, and it's hilarious.
Now, I know of Drewski. I didn't know of the reality show. So help me out, because I've watched not knowing what the fuck it's about, where he sits at the table and they come in. Is that how he's casting for the show?
Well, that's how he was getting people for the could have been records, like the audition stuff.
Gotcha.
The auditions.
Yeah.
And then there have been people who were on the audition show who he brought in for the love show.
So he's got a little universe going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's if you like the auditions,
yeah, definitely
you're gonna love Should Have Been Love.
Okay. All right. Well, I might have to watch the records one first to get caught up.
Oh no, well, you don't need the records. It's just
I mean, just for I like to I can blow through that shit in 2 days.
Yeah, every episode is like 55 minutes. Episode.
Okay.
And Could Have Been Love, I'm not gonna lie, might have one of the best theme songs of all time.
All right, I'm gonna check it out.
One of the best. It could have been love. Oh, it's. That's all I got for you.
All right, we have to, I'll watch it. And we'll have to talk about it at the end of next week's episode. I'll catch you up on what my feelings are.
Hey, if you like it, we can even do a Discord watch along with the folks.
Hey, there we go. The Drewski cast. All right, well, that's been another episode of Wavymania. Stay tuned, like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Go check out what's it called?
Drewski Could Have Been Love.
Drewski Could Have Been Love. We'll be back next week after Elimination Chamber to kind of fill you in on what's going on. More rumors, more stories, more predictions. As always, I'm Notorious D. That is Wavy D, and we are out of here.
Yeah, let's go. Don't stop, yo, no. Show it shows Vegas, baby, high roll, bank roll. Wavy D, nerdy D, we say so. Rock bottom, hit him with a stunner, that's no problem. Superman punch, yeah, we got him. Throw the ones up, tell me who hotter. Manhandle, Chels Green.